What is up, Houston? Am I not muted? Am I muted? Oh, okay. Why can't I hear myself? What happened?
I hear you.
Oh, it's okay. What is up, Houston? Young adults.
Yo.
Sorry, y'all. My sound. I can't hear it. Why can't I hear? Oh, you know why? You gotta turn it up. My bad. Wait, that? Wait, why? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, just turn it up. Sorry, guys. I was talking to my boss, Miranda, over there, and I want to publicly.
She's a good boss.
Yeah, Miranda's the best.
Dude.
Like, I think there is not too many people, if they were hanging off a cliff at the same time Miranda was, there's not too many people I would save over Miranda. What? Miranda? You don't appreciate that?
Like that. That's a good compliment.
Yeah. It's a true story. But anyways, what is up, Houston Young Adults? Welcome to our budgeting 101 with the... How do you say your last name?
Alolods.
Woo! Wow, what a great time. A lot of y'all really liked our first live stream called Financial Literacy. And this is... wait, is that really not working? Oh, it is working? No. Okay, sorry. Okay, you know what? I'm going to stay in my lane. Our first live stream, Financial Literacy. And so we said we were going to do one called Budgeting 101. And here we are with the budgeting masters themselves. So, last time I was a bad host. I basically invited people on and then talked the whole time. So this week, I'm just going to be the test dummy for them. And I'm going to do whatever they tell me to do. So... You agree with that a lot, right?
I got some feedback. So,
okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Tell Jocelyn to keep her comments to herself.
It wasn't Jocelyn.
Okay. All right. Never mind. All right. Go ahead, Vincent. Take it away.
I think you did great, Georgie.
Let's. We got 45 minutes with y'all today.
All right. We'll use our time very wisely today, and as much as we can, be as detailed as possible.
Yeah.
So that there's actually game plan that people can take outside of this budgeting podcast. And the biggest thing that, we talked about last time in the Finance 101 is learning how to steward the resources that God has given us. And budgeting, I feel like before I learned about financial literacy, Georgie, the word budgeting wasn't my friend. Or like a diet.
Yeah.
The word diet wasn't also my friend.
It's still not my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I realized is instead of saying budgeting or dieting, we switched it to stewarding. Like how do we steward our food, right, for our body to honor God? And how do we steward our finances to also build a foundation according to God's word?
Yeah.
Right? So when you hear budgeting and it kind of like irks you the way it did for me, we want to look towards it more as how do you steward the resources that you're getting every single month from your job or your business.
Yeah. Because, the Bible calls us to be good stewards.
Good stewards.
The Bible calls us to be good stewards. Mm-hmm. The Bible says one of our first commands as mankind was be fruitful, multiply.
That's right.
So.
And the biggest thing is how do we do that if we don't know the rules of the financial game in our society today?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the Bible, it teaches us resources and how to, steward it, but we also need to learn what the laws are when it comes to taxes.
Oh yeah.
Right? How much federal tax do you pay, Social Security and Medicaid, and you have to subtract this every month from your paycheck and budget with what you get net from gross.
Yes. I learned that one the hard way last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have a few slides, that I'm a big visual learner. I was telling this to Georgie. Last time we didn't really have a lot of visuals when it came to information, but today we came more prepared.
We did.
Right? We got some feedback, and we got some visuals for you guys to actually follow throughout the budgeting process.
Yeah. So bear with us. We'll be flipping back and forth between cameras and PDFs, but we'll be doing this together. So.
Yeah, and what I recommend when we do switch to the PDF, screenshot it so that you have a copy of it, and then you can review it later. And if you have any questions, then you have a specific visual that you can ask us.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
So
Okay.
make sure you screenshot what we share in the live today.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Well, let's go into the first slide here, which is monthly income breakdown with debt, and then monthly income breakdown without debt. Can we pull that up, Miranda?
Miranda.
Ooh,
okay.
there you go.
Boom.
Boom.
See, we don't have the sound effect machine today, so
That's it.
yeah.
We
Can we
are
just pass the mic to Anna? She could just say something in Italian, like "Bada bing, boom." Like it'd help a lot. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, so if you're seeing this in
Continue.
your screen right now, make sure you screenshot it. This is the exact protocol that Anna and I followed for 1 whole year, 12 months, to build the financial foundation that we have today. And each one is specific, right? So the first one, if you have debt, you're gonna look at the first one, which is monthly income breakdown with debt. So every time you get paid every month, the first step is to put 10% of that into tithing. So the reason why we're gonna use percentages today, because sometimes, especially if you're a business owner, your income fluctuates every month. Sometimes you have more coming in or less coming in. And if you have a 9 to 5, sometimes you may do extra overtime, so more money comes in, or if it's slow at your job, you do less hours in, so money can also fluctuate. But if you have specific percentages, then you have something to follow that does not change every single month. So if that makes sense, put a like on that comment. But the first thing that we do, especially as stewards of our resources, is we put 10% into our tithe, right? What we give to God, so that we can help with the kingdom expansion when it comes to the the resources that we receive. Now, the thing is, the next step is we need to learn how to pay ourselves first before we pay companies that we owe, which is like our living expense, right? So the next step after you put 10% from your tithe is you can switch back to us too, Miranda. I'm pretty sure people have it. Yeah, there you go. And then because I have it here on my phone as well. 10%. Step 2 is 10% goes into investing and paying yourself first, right? And then after that, the third step is savings and emergency fund. Last time we talked about
We did
building a high yield savings account.
Yes.
Right? So one thing that I want
And if you've opened one since then, let us know.
I commend you.
Let us know.
I commend you. So the thing about that 10% savings is you can also break that percentages down too, Georgie. So like if you don't have an emergency fund yet, or you're saving for something specific, which is like
A car.
or if you like to travel,
Yeah.
right? You gotta open
A wedding.
a wedding.
A like a vacation, a yearly vacation.
Or
I feel like that's a good thing to use that for, because let's say, okay, what's a really nice vacation cost these days? Probably like 3,000 to 5,000. You know, you can probably go wherever you want with that.
Especially going out the country, it's about 3,000 to 5,000.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, heck, going to like Arizona or California these days probably costs 3,000 to 5,000 too. But those are nice things that you can, like a year is a good enough time to kind of put like, you know, for your money to at least help you get to those smaller amounts, you know,
right.
opposed to like, you know, because a car, you know, you're looking at whatever, 40,000. I think the average car purchase these days
30.
No, I think it's
40,000.
50.
Really?
I'm
Brand
not
new.
kidding. I
Brand
think
new, right? Yeah, it's crazy.
some used. I see used trucks for 50,000.
And the monthly for these like $50,000 cars are well over $1,000 a month, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's insane.
Yeah,
That's really insane.
that
I'm not
doesn't
even sorry.
include-
That's
that-
just insane.
that
Yeah, look,
doesn't-
as of 2026, the average transaction price for a new car is 50,000 in America.
And it doesn't include insurance
Yeah.
and gas every week. right? Like the
Which,
actual
listen,
cost for the car. It's not just the monthly.
I'm going through like a gallon of gas like every
Oh
3
my
days right now. I
goodness.
mean, a tank of gas every 3 days right now.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well, I feel like I skipped the investment in paying yourself first, right? So that right there, the 10% that goes there, you can do 5% into like a Roth IRA, and then 5% can go into maxing out your 401k.
So what do you mean by, because what would you consider paying yourself?
So paying yourself is,
And can you flash that one more time, Miranda, just in case?
there you go. Paying yourself is investing first on yourself. So every time you get paid, right, you want to put 10%. Let's say you get paid $4,000 a month. 400 of that every month has to go into paying yourself first, which is 100 can go into your Roth IRA, 100 can go into your health savings account, 100 can go into your brokerage account,
Yeah.
right? And then another 100 can go into extra into your 401k match every month.
Okay.
So
Cool.
paying yourself first means just you're making that money, that 10% go into buying assets.
Yeah, your investments.
Investments. So you can also use some of that 10% to, put into like if you want to get, start a business or something,
Yeah.
right? That's still
Yeah.
investing, paying yourself first.
Yeah.
And the same thing now going back to savings and emergency, you can put 5% into your high yield savings, building your emergency fund, and then 5% of that 10% can go into like that trip that you're talking about or
Yeah.
that wedding that's coming up,
Very true.
right? And then on top of that is where now you focus on your living expense. So what I'm sharing here with you is
And you can come back to us, Miranda.
is a very challenging percentage because 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So
Yeah.
that means most Americans today are 90% of their monthly expense are going to living expense.
Which is funny because I feel like if you talk to the average person and tell them like, you just got to invest like 10%, like most people would be like, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing, blah, blah, blah. But when you sit down and you put stuff down on paper,
Yeah.
you like 10% is a lot.
Exactly. Because if you make $5,000 a month after tax, like net, that means putting away $500 a month
Yeah.
into something, right?
Yeah.
So, but when you break it down into percentages, it makes a lot more sense. Now you can actually track it because
Yes.
like let's say you make $3,000 a month that month, different from last month, right? Then but you still put 10% away.
Yeah.
It's still tracking the numbers. So going to living expenses, what's living expenses, Georgie?
I'll tell you right now, HEB, food,
So groceries, food.
housing,
Rent.
rent,
Mhm.
food and rent,
Car.
car. Yeah, I don't pay for a car, but okay, housing, food, car. Do you consider insurance in that one? Nah, I don't need
No.
insurance. Yeah, I can survive without
Yeah.
it. Miranda, why'd you laugh like that?
So four main things for living expense is your housing.
How about travel?
Utilities.
Housing, travel, utilities.
Mobility, which is car insurance, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then groceries.
Yeah.
So that's living expense. Those 4 categories.
Growing up, I thought car insurance was like an option. So
It's not. It's not an option. If you're riding dirty right now, please stop riding dirty.
Yeah, let's move on from that. I'm just kidding.
So then living expense, after living expense, 10% goes into miscellaneous.
Okay.
Miscellaneous can be going out on the weekends, right? Or this can be things that
Shopping.
Or
what were those little green things y'all bought, Soph and Miranda? Whatever they bought today.
So if you're making $5,000 a month, that means you have $500 a month as your budget. That can go into anything. This is like your hobbies. This is your shopping, going out with friends, dinner, lunches, coffee.
Yeah.
Right? Everything outside of saving, investing, and living expense is called your miscellaneous. This is also called your leakage every month. The things that we don't track. Right? Like that extra, like let's say you go out of town and then now you have to pay an extra gallon of gas. That's also miscellaneous budgeting. Right? And then after that is paying off debt. So if you're in debt right now, 10% of that can get you out of debt a lot faster. Of course, that's why paying off debt is last, because it can also fluctuate. You can do 5% into debt, 1%, right? Depending on how fast you want to get out of debt as soon as possible. If you don't have any debt, then you can do the next one, which is 10% tithing, 10% investing, 10% saving, and 60% living expense. So you can play around with your percentages, right? And I guarantee you, if you're watching this right now, if you follow this protocol, this percentage protocol for 12 months, even from now until the end of 2026, January 1st of 2027, you're gonna look at your financial foundation and look at it like, wow, this is drastically changed from last year.
Yeah. Consistency is
right?
key.
So this is a budgeting. I'm gonna go more into that with a PDF that I actually sent to Georgie. It's fillable, and it already has all the math calculated. All you gotta do is put in all your information on there, and it'll spit out your specific numbers. So we got the heavy lifting out the way, and
if people want it, can they ask you for it?
Yeah, I can definitely email you a copy, and then we can sit down.
Can you show that real quick, Miranda? Can you just show that? It's the white pages, yeah.
Yeah, it's down right there. So it's called a PFS, your personal financial strategy. If you're looking at this right, you can also take a screenshot of it. But we go into depth about how to actually build a budgeting program for your current situation, right? If you're looking at us right now and you say, man, how do I do 10% of this, and how do I reduce my living expense to 50%? You can actually use this PDF version right here and find out exactly what your current goals are, your short-term goals, right? 1 year or less, 1 to 5 years, midterm goals, and long-term goals, 5 years and above. And then right below that, you can put in your monthly income, and it'll calculate it for you. And then you can also put in your asset numbers, and then your liabilities all the way at the bottom. So this is like your credit card, your car loans, mortgage, everything that goes into liabilities. And then all the way to the right is your monthly expense. So it breaks it down to the T so that you know exactly what's coming in and what is coming out. And that's pretty much what budgeting is, right? Is knowing what's coming in and knowing what's coming out.
Yeah.
50% of people today, man, don't even know how much money is coming in, how much they're paying in taxes. And most people that I've talked to, when we sit down and do this, is like, I make this much. Why am I always paycheck to paycheck? It's because they don't write it down specifically like this.
The Bible says, write it down, write the vision down, make it plain.
Right. So if you want a fillable copy of this, reach out to Georgie, myself, and we'll sit down and we'll break it down for you.
You can come back to us, Miranda.
Yeah.
How long would you say it takes to fill out that sheet for y'all?
Max 30 minutes.
Yeah. I was going to say, also, the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah. Anna and I do our financial strategy at least once a month.
Can I come next time y'all do it?
Of course. Yeah, come see our numbers, man.
Yeah. I just need help.
Yeah, I got you. But I want to show you the second slide. Miranda is the one with the building a financial foundation. It's that one right there, right? So this is pretty much a protocol that you can follow. If you want to screenshot this as well to keep for your records. But all the way right there on the left side is your current situation. So we don't know your current situation right now. That's why it's question marks, right? But only you know. Now going to the right side is the game plan that we've seen work. If you're able to build a financial foundation with these numbers all the way on the right, then you'll have a solid financial house for yourself. So proper protection is, your any kind of insurance, long-term care, life insurance. This is things that you have in place in case anything happens, like an emergency. So you don't have to go into your investments. You have your proper protection to take care of that. So if you're making $50,000 a month, you multiply that by 10, you need at least $500,000 of proper protection in place. And then above that is debt management. We want that to be 0. And then right above that, the third step is building an emergency fund of at least 6 months just in case you lose your job, COVID-19 happens again, anything happens, you have that cushion.
Let's give an example. Let's say let's say, what would my emergency fund be if I made $2,000 a month?
So if you make $2,000 a month, your living expense, if you follow the percentages, is $1,000 a month because it's 50, right? 50%. So $1,000 is your living expense. You multiply your living expense by 6, you would need $6,000 in your high yield savings account as an emergency fund.
And that's if what, I get fired, if I break a leg, like what?
You break a leg, there's a transition period when it comes to work, your income stops. At least you have 6 months so that you can recover from whatever happens.
This is especially good for like business owners and
business owners,
like
for sure.
oil, like the plant guys who are like 4 on, 4 off,
That's
like
right.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
That's why it's important to have a high yield savings, because your emergency fund can be a lot. Maybe your emergency fund is $30,000, right, for 6 months. You want to put that in a high yield savings earning at least 4%, so that it's not just sitting there, it's still liquid. The last step is investing, right? So you want at least 20 times your income in your investment portfolio by the time you retire. So if you're making $50,000 a year, you need about $1 million to retire comfortably. And the next slide here is I'm going to show you
but that's living at the $50,000.
That's right. And that's not even talking about inflation, taxes. So like right now, if you're 20 right now, you retire at 65, that's still another 45 years of work, right? And that's another 45 years of taxes going up, inflation going up. But this is just a good game plan to follow so that you have something to aim for, right? Majority of people, when they're building a financial foundation, they're just throwing darts randomly. There's no actual aim or goal. So this helps people have a game plan. Like, okay, so if I'm on the left side right now, I don't know where I'm at. And then now I got to be on the right side. I know these goals that I have to hit. Now what is the income that I need to make to get to these goals?
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
So this is the visual that really changed a lot for us too. Not just for Anna and I, but also for my clients and people that I've helped. And then the next one, Miranda, is the actual game plan on how to become a millionaire in 30 years. Being a millionaire today, Georgie, is not rocket science. It just takes discipline.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. So if you have a full-time job today, this is exactly what the protocol is for you. So if you're 20 years old right now, by the time you're 50, if you just follow this, you'll become a millionaire. So what it is assuming that you make $60,000 a year, which is right now the average income in America, which is kind of crazy, and you set aside 10% of that into saving and investing for the future. That's $500 a month. Now, when you look at $500 a month, it's like, wow, how do I save $500 a month? But now if you break it down to daily, it's actually just $17 a day. What is that?
Hey, that's Miranda. What did y'all spend on your green toys today? How much did you spend on your green toys? Oh, that's 2 months. That's 2 days.
That's 2 days. Right? That could be a Chipotle at lunch. That could be, going out. This is why Anna and I, we bring lunch.
Yeah.
Right? To save more so that we can put that $17 a day.
See, that's what I'm trying to get when you do your meal prep. I'm trying to come over with my container, my ingredients. I'm trying to, we can talk about that later. All right.
Got you. So if you just save $17 a day, which is $500 a month at an 8% rate of return in 30 years, if you're 20 years old right now, that'll be $745,000. How many people do you know today in their 50s with $745,000 in their portfolio?
Not too many.
Right? And if you just add another 2%, which is which it'll make into 10% every year of investing, that same $17 a day, $500 a month in 30 years will be $1.1 million in your portfolio.
And this is without doing anything.
This is just
putting money in a piggy bank.
That's right. Well, no, you're putting it in an investment account.
Well, what I'm saying is the physical action of you are just putting your money in a different place.
That's right. And it just takes discipline.
Yeah.
Right? So when people ask me, how do you become a millionaire? Dude, just break down the numbers. How fast do you want to become a millionaire?
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to be a millionaire in 10 years, so that means you have to just break it down to, now you have to invest $1,500 a month, right? Yep. What if you want to be a millionaire in 5 years? Then you invest $2,000 a month. So this is why it's so important to know your numbers and when you want to become a millionaire or retire.
Yeah, you know,
I remember break it down.
I know personally, like I didn't want to know my numbers because I was like, what if it's not the numbers I want them to be? So it's like, as long as I didn't have to see them, I didn't have to realize how short I was missing things.
Yeah.
But what I realized is one, successful people don't do that. What they do is they go through the hard part and like putting the pride aside, getting their stuff right, so that way they're able to say, okay, this is where I'm really at, and where do I want to go? But you don't know where you want to go if you don't even know where you're at.
Exactly.
You can't go anywhere not knowing where you currently are. Mike Murdoch says that. No, not Mike Murdoch. What book was that? The book is slipping my mind right now. But
you can bring it back to us, Miranda.
He said in the book he says a map doesn't work correctly if you don't first know where you're at on it. So
exactly, and that's going back into budgeting. That's why it's so important to have a budget, because then you know exactly where you're at currently, and then now when you see your numbers, you get hit with the reality of like, okay, so this is where I am, this is where I want to be. What is the gap between that? Like, how far am I from where I am today, and then where I want to be? What does that gap look like? And then when you know where you want to be, you can actually backtrack step by step to where you are currently so that you know exactly how to get to that goal. And that's what budgeting does. That's what learning how to steward your finances does, is you have an actual visualization, a clear vision for what your finances can look like.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, you know, if we have any questions on there, I'd love to answer them.
Yeah, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We'd love to answer your questions.
Yeah, and if you want any of these things that I just shared on the live today, you know, I have books, I have workbooks. We do financial workshops on Zoom every Wednesday and Saturday afternoon. So if you want that information too, you can hop on into our Financial 101 Zoom classes as well. And if you want that PDF that we were talking about earlier, get a hold of us, and I can email that to you. We can sit down and build a strategy that's specifically for you. And that's the thing about budgeting too, is everyone's budget is different. Everyone's goal is different, and there's no one size fit all. That's why you have to cater to the specific person.
Which is why you, like, the first slide you put was. It was good that it was in percentages, is because no matter how big or how small you think you are, when you go based off percentages, you can stay. It's consistent.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, because if you were to say I'm gonna put $300 a month, well, what if you don't have enough to put $300 a month, and then now you're feeling discouraged because you didn't put in, and then it's a slippery slope, and then, but
yeah,
everybody has 10%. 10% of what is different.
It's different,
but
exactly.
Everybody has 10% of something.
What I can say is when I first started investing, when I was 27, I was literally paycheck to paycheck. But when I found out about financial literacy and that I knew that I need to start investing, I started with $10 a month. You know, and I was like, I just need to build this discipline that I know that every month I have $10 going into an investment account. And then as my finances got better and better, then I started to do $50 a month. And then when income started to increase again, I put $100 a month, right? And then now you have this big momentum. But the thing is, you have to start with something.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing is, you know, if you don't start with anything, then it's never going to happen. So start with, if you're paycheck to paycheck right now, start with $100 a month. But if you're making a lot of money right now and you're just saving it, and you don't know how to invest it, this is where now you have something to play with, because now you have a lot of money sitting aside, but where do you put it to make it grow? What kind of assets do you buy, right? So that's why financial strategies are so catered, are so, what's the word I'm looking for, babe? Financial strategies are very individualized. Wow, I like that word. But can I actually share a little bit of how things were before we started tracking our expenses? Because when we started tracking, we have a Google Sheets document that it has like our income and then expenses. Can you share about that real quick?
Yeah, so I can actually share that with anybody that wants that too. It's pretty easy. It's just a Google sheet, but it takes a lot of discipline to track everything because you don't realize like how much you spend until you start writing everything down, even if it's just buying a coffee or getting something extra at the grocery store. Like we track everything, but it wasn't like that before. So we started this probably like 2023? End of 2023.
Yeah.
We started just tracking everything because we were, I mean, like broke pretty much because living paycheck to paycheck, just wondering where our money was going. And we would do a PFS together, but we were like that was the eye opener. That was the realization that, we're spending too much on just like random things and even eating out too much, just like we could be buying groceries instead of eating out. So from there, we had to just make adjustments first and then, like get rid of some expenses, just really like get an idea of how much we want to spend on groceries and then really try to spend that much that month. And it takes discipline. Like it's hard when you have goals, but it's worth it. And so it's just something that we built the habit on, and we track literally everything. But yeah, it wasn't always like that. But
getting an espresso machine, just inserting myself back into this conversation.
I
Getting
want
an
it,
espresso machine.
I'm gonna win it.
I did not realize how much money I was wasting until I got an espresso machine.
Crazy.
Like the fact that okay, if I made 3 espressos in a week, that's $21 that week that I saved.
Coffee is so expensive.
That's insane. It cost me 90 cents for that week of coffee instead of $21.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
If you just talk about if you just think about like lunch, right? Like if you go out every day for lunch.
I went out 3 times this week because I was really busy. I wasn't even close to home. I didn't think I was gonna get hungry. I went out 3 times this week, and then on the 4th day I was like hungry, and I was like, I have already spent like $70 on food this week, and I was like,
and then you have food at home.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had no food at home, but I mean, I could have stopped. The rotisserie chicken tacos have been coming in clutch, but I was like, I'm not nearly as hungry anymore thinking about spending $150 on takeout this week if I just do whatever I want, Again, that's like, I don't have $17 a day. Well, I mean, you're eating here, you're eating there, and
yeah,
it's
the eye opener is that when you start tracking everything, like that $20 a day for lunch is $100 a week. Times 4 is $400 a month. That could go into paying off debt. That could go into investing for your future, right? But the thing is, you'll never see that $20 until you write everything down, right? That's the energy drink that you buy at the gas station that you didn't need. That's that I don't know, just anything that Anna and I used to get, and we started.
those gas station energy drinks, the $3.79,
like $5 now.
Yeah, it's insane. Listen, I'd rather feel like I'm dying than spend $5. You know what? That partially, okay, so the Lord helped me this year because I would drink energy drinks like a lot last year. And like sometimes it's twice a day, and that's
a lot of caffeine, dude.
Yeah, 600 milligrams goes hard. It's a good life. But I was like, it's just like, I was like, dang, I actually am spending like a lot of money on energy drinks and stuff, which like you don't need energy drinks to live. So like during the fast this year, like I just like was like, all right, I'm gonna stop drinking energy drinks, and like I really stopped drinking caffeine in total, and like I didn't realize how much money I've probably saved not drinking. I've had 2 this year, and one of them was given to me on my birthday, and like so I'm pretty. That is, even if you buy from Costco, that's $1.70, $1.50 a drink. You know.
And I'm not saying that like stop everything.
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
you also need to.
Listen, I'm known to be a little cheap.
Yeah,
People around me would call me cheap.
that's sometimes that's good.
It's true.
I know a lot of wealthy people that are cheap. They're wealthy because they are cheap,
Yeah.
right? But I'm not saying that you cut everything off for the rest of your life. It's just that there's a season for everything, right? But if your season right now, if you've been praying for like financial overflow, you've been praying for financial wisdom, this is the season where you list everything down and then you find out where is your money going, right? And you also have to understand your rich life, right? Like this is why learning how to budget, that miscellaneous, that $500 a month can go into your Starbucks, can go into your going out every month.
Exactly. It's not that you
Right?
can't do
It's
them.
not that you can't, right? But it's the fact that you have a budget for everything now. You know when to say no to things. Now you have control of where your money's going. Your money's not controlling you. You know exactly how to make your money work for you.
Yeah.
How to pay for things. And that's what budgeting does.
You can't be it helps you not be a slave to a
Exactly.
lifestyle. Because it's a horrible thing, like working, like I've never done this, but I could just think about it. Like I just can't fathom being in debt and like going to work knowing that I'm paying off things from like months ago. Like that never mind. I'm going to stop there. Go ahead.
No, it goes a long way, man, because especially if you're in debt right now, right? I mean, the Bible says, if
you're the borrower is slave to the lender.
Slave to lender. And if you don't budget your money, you don't know how much to, stop spending so that you can get out of debt, then you'll be, most Americans are in debt for the rest of their life. That could be, tuition debt, college debt. That could be their car, right? Some people I know, including myself before, once I pay off a car, I don't enjoy it that I'm, debt free from a car. I just go to the next one and upgrade immediately. And then I have another car payment.
Yeah.
Right? So enjoy being debt free because it goes a lot into learning how to steward and invest for the future. And, our finances at the end of the day, it's not something that, that is like, we live for it, right? But we need to learn how to steward it so that we can give back also. Like, if you know how to increase your income, you have more saved aside, put aside. You can tithe more. You can give back to people more. You can bless your family more.
Yeah, you can be a blessing to
bless
people. You can help
strangers.
people. I mean, you can't give what you don't have.
Exactly.
And so, you're right. It's your financial success isn't just for you. It's for the people around you also.
That's right.
And what a blessing it is. What a great feeling it is knowing that you can bless somebody and like not care.
It's the best feeling.
And it's like it's just a better feeling to give than to receive. And I'm shutting up again. Go ahead.
No, man, you're doing great. The thing about it too, Georgie.
Besides when I was eating the Hershey Kiss, right?
Yeah. So Georgie and I are supposed to cut together, but I feel like I'm the only one cutting now because
It's because you are.
Okay.
I'm fat right
Well,
now.
at least you have a 0 sugar Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I could never. I wasn't allowed to drink soda growing up. That's a
Really?
true story. Yeah, Pastor Sandy would not let us drink sodas growing up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pastor Sandy.
yeah. It's the reason why we like never went to the dentist. The first time I ever went to the dentist, I think I was 21.
Wow.
I had 0 cavities.
Wow.
Yeah, God's good. God is good. Never had braces. To be fair, my teeth are starting to jack up because of my wisdom teeth, but
Yeah, I gotta get mine pulled out.
yeah. Let's do it at the same time. Let's do a live stream of us getting our teeth pulled out.
I'm actually saving. I have a savings fund for our wisdom tooth, so that we can pay it off. Yeah, but we have dental insurance, so which is
Same. I just mustered up the faith to get dental insurance. Yeah.
Vision. You gotta have vision, dental,
Oof.
health insurance,
Got me there.
life
Got me
insurance.
there.
Get it, dude. Get it. It's like what Pastor Sandy says, right? Have the word in you when you don't need it, so that when you need it, it's there. It's the same thing for your proper protection. Have your car insurance, your cell phone insurance, have your life insurance, have your everything, your dental, vision,
I listen. The Lord's
medical.
working on me. My wife, God bless her, she's a great woman, because if it wasn't for her, I would be riding completely dirty.
And it's just peace of mind, man.
I don't get peace of mind from that.
Oh, okay.
It's
I do.
Listen, this is what I'm saying. This is why it's important who you marry, because my wife helps me. She really does.
Anna too. She reminds me that we need all these things, and just in case, we still live in the world, right? This is still flesh and bones.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't want to ever dip into our savings and investments because of an emergency,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
When you have that proper protection in place, you're leveraging other people's money for a fraction of a price. When that emergency happens, you use their money for a fraction of a price instead of dipping into your investments and your emergency fund. That is the game changer right there. I learned that from so many wealthy people. They learned how to leverage other people's money for a small percentage of what they're paying for, so that when emergencies happen, they use other people's money instead of their investments and their savings. Telling you right there, that's the one. If you know, when you learn how to leverage other people's money, it's a game changer. We can show you how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
First, learn how to save 10%.
Yeah.
First, listen. Y'all are trying to. I can see y'all's brains churning already. Y'all are trying to learn how to be the Chinese mafia. We need you to learn how to save 10% first.
The basics first.
We need listen. Tithing is great. It's like set tithing goals. It's like, what do you want to tithe this year? And tithing is the first 10% of your income. So it's like, have a tithing goal, have a giving goal. It's like, and work from there. You know what's funny? I'll tell you this story, and I won't take up too much time. I don't remember how many years ago this was, but I was already married. But Courtney was like, all right, let's add up our expenses of like an ideal, like what would it cost a month for us to ideally do what we want to do. And the number we put finally we came to on the card was like, at the time, the most it was faith is I don't know if I could describe it as faith. It was so unrealistic for me at the time that I was like, you know what? I don't even feel anything because I can't do that. Like that is gonna have to be God, or it's just not gonna happen because I can't do that. Obviously I didn't say that, but that's just what I felt like. And inside it's like that number is so unrealistic. And where am I going with the story other than dogging myself and my faith? Where am I going with anyways, but we took the first step, which is we
had a goal.
We had a goal.
Yeah.
And we lined out everything line for line. This is how much insurance would cost. This is how much groceries cost. This is, and we sat down and did our due diligence. And the Lord honors that because you're doing the hard stuff. You're doing what is required for you to grow. Mm-hmm. You can't grow if you don't know where you are. Yeah. So, but lo and behold, having that on our fridge, seeing that on our fridge every day, to today, where that would be considered like a normal month in our life. And it's just crazy to think about how powerful budgeting is, because without budgeting, we wouldn't have been able to even come up with that number. And without coming up with that number, we wouldn't have been able to stretch our faith for something. Yeah. And that all started with budgeting, which is why it's important.
That's an incredible testimony, Georgie, because it was similar for Anna and I. The biggest thing, just like I'm big into statistics, right? One of the biggest reasons why families or marriages have problems is because financial misunderstanding. The wife and the husband are not on the same page when it comes to their finances. And then when an emergency happens, it's too late. And then everyone they're both freaking out, right? And I've seen this many times with my family, with my parents. So that was something that Anna and I talked about before we even got married. I knew, she knew what was my debts, my income, and I knew what her finances looked like, right? And That's breaking that generational curse of financial struggle, because now we're both on the same page when it comes to building our stewarding our finances together with God's guidance.
Somewhere Courtney's shaking her head right now because I avoided every money conversation I could have before we
It's
got
a taboo
married.
topic, man. You know, it's a conversation that is not
It's
comfortable.
not because it's not because I thought it was weird. It's because I didn't have any money to talk about. I just didn't. I had no
love
money
the
to talk
honesty,
about.
man.
The conversation would have started and ended within the same like 20 seconds. Like there was no money to talk about.
Well, I wanna bring this to Anna actually, because you know, as a wife that that you know, like she believes the guidance that I have when it comes to our finances. But like, how did you feel when we finally put our finances together, got that savings account together, we put all our bank accounts together, and now you know exactly how much money is coming in, what's going out, what's going to our accounts? Like, how did that make you feel as a wife?
Yeah, I mean, we got our first joint savings account when we were engaged. So, you know, like we were already starting that process, and it felt good. Like it was kind of weird at first, you know, like wow, we're like this is actually happening. Like we are one, you know, like everything when you get married, you're two become one. So it's literally everything. Not just like emotionally and physically, like everything. Your finances have to become one. You have to be open with each other. You have to be comfortable about talking about that. And because like that's your literal job, it was always like a comfortable topic. You know, I wasn't really like afraid to show you what was going on in my life, and you the same. So we always had like that open communication about it, and I feel like that's very important, like in a relationship. And then just as a wife, I mean, it feels good knowing that we're going in the right direction and we're going there together, you know. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And I want to add into that, Georgie. Before I got saved, and you know, I never thought I would get married. I never thought I wanted kids, and I just never thought I would become like financially good, you know, because I didn't see that happening for myself. One of the reasons why I didn't see myself getting married was because, like, man, getting married is like expensive, right? Having kids is expensive. All these things that the world tells us.
Are you announcing something on this live stream or what? Just wondering.
Just preparing, you know, just preparing. But that's coming. We'll talk about that another time.
Are you gonna testify again?
You know,
Can you testify again?
The church is growing, man. But no, but a lot of guys today are afraid of commitment, of getting married, having kids, because of finances. And when you have the Lord, you know, he blesses that. You know, Anna and we got married, and we didn't go into debt for our marriage, man. You know, I know so many people that go into hundreds, maybe even like 50 to 100,000, hundreds of thousands for a wedding.
It really is the hardest thing to see. Like I wish I could. It's the hardest thing to see, knowing that like you are starting this great, wonderful thing called marriage off, digging the biggest ditch for yourself. Yeah. It's sad. It really is.
And we give that all honor and glory to God that He made that happen. You know, we had incredible people that made our wedding affordable, and you know, we didn't have to go into debt for that. Talking about kids, right? You know, the flesh would tell you, hey, if you're not making $100,000 a year yet, don't get married, don't have kids.
Dude, the flesh will tell you if you're not making $1 million a year, like don't have kids.
Yeah,
like,
and
listen, $60 boxes of diapers at Costco would change your perspective on life.
Yeah,
$2 smoothie pouches will do it for you. But it'll take your faith to another level. Let me tell you.
And the thing about that, when the world tells you that, right? When social media shows you that you need to be a specific kind of man first before you can do specific things, you put God's plan in hold.
Yep, exactly. That's right.
And you're shooting yourself in the foot because your flesh is like, I'm not ready, but God is ready.
Exactly. That is completely right. That is 100% right. Because like I felt the same way. I was not like in the natural to have kids. Like I was like, well, it's not gonna make sense. But when you serve the Lord and you like have faith in His word, you know that everything's gonna work out for your good.
Yeah.
And I'm still here today. The rapture hasn't happened, so
The biggest thing that I want to give thanks to Georgie when I first heard him say this is you gotta give God something to work with.
Oh, that was a
Can,
great
can you
message.
go deeper into that, man? Because like
I mean, it's pretty simple.
I don't know if people, I feel like I had to hear that like 3 or 4 times, bro,
Yeah.
before I was like, wait, like what does that really mean? You
Yeah.
know? And giving God something to work with is like going outside of your comfort zone to ask your boss for a raise, to work on your resume to get a better job that gives you a better paycheck.
Yeah, it's
Right?
it's giving God the opportunity to show out in your life. It's true. It's true. He's got to work with some. If I wouldn't have taken the step to get married, who knows if I would probably be in an even worse financial state than I am now. I mean, I'm not in a bad financial state, but what I'm saying is you get what I'm saying. And it's like if I wouldn't have decided to have kids, I may have not grown. It's like what I'm starting to see in life, and I know what time is it? 5 minutes? All right, thanks. What I'm starting to see in life, it's easy to know that God will take care of you. It's easy to say, like, I can't fail with God. It's easy to say, like, with God, anything's possible. But it's another thing to actually see it happen in your life.
Gotta work.
And, like, actually believe it in your heart and, like, just walk in that. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing, like, from getting married to me and Courtney were talking the other day with somebody, and I was like, we were just talking about like, red flags and stuff, and I was like, Courtney had no business marrying me, like she really didn't. Like Courtney, like I said, God bless her. Like if she really would have just on paper, it made no sense getting married, but like after getting married, took a level, and then after having a kid, taking another level, and it's like, we'll see.
Yeah, and I don't want if you're a man watching this right now, I don't want like for you to miss out on God's plan for you to be, a husband, a father, and because the world is telling you that you're not ready because of your finances.
Yeah.
That's the biggest lie from the devil. Me thinking that before like now we have Anna, now I have Anna, we're married and thinking about like the future together and building our family the way God wants us to live, which is husband, wife, children, right? And I think that's the biggest blessing that we can receive from God is learning like the structure of a family. I wish I learned that at a younger age, but if you're watching this right now, man, really dig deep into what God is telling you and building that family that He wants you to build. And that's the purpose. The purpose is to be fruitful and multiply.
Spiritually, emotionally,
your health,
physically,
everything. Right? And everything that we do has to honor and glorify God.
Another one saying that I always say at young adults that I love was if never be too scared to make the wrong decision to where you don't make any decisions. That's like I feel like that changed my life. That saying there changed my life. Where it's like you're so focused on not messing up that you actually don't do anything, and then you look back a year from now and you're like because I was so scared to mess up, I'm actually like even further behind. Mm-hmm. That was a big one for me.
Yeah. So the biggest thing, maybe we can end with this. I don't know if you have something after this, but
no.
Idleness, right? Like when people say, when I ask people like, hey, how's your day going? Oh, same thing, same day, same thing as yesterday, or it's like it's the same today, but it's really not the same.
60 seconds.
60 seconds. Sorry. So it's really not the same because if you stay the same today, tomorrow you're one day older. So tomorrow, if you don't take that step, or you don't take that step today, you're actually going backwards in your journey. Every single day you put something on hold, you're going backwards in your journey. You're not staying the same. You're actually losing a day every single day while you hold back
Are you
on your
trying to
purpose.
convict me for not cutting with you?
Dude, come on, man. We gotta get that six pack.
All right. I've never had a six pack in my life, so
This
we'll
is the
see.
summer, Georgie.
Courtney's somewhere jumping up and down right now. Like, yes, sir. That's it. Courtney, yeah. You know what though? The Lot family, they have God-given genetics. Like their dad was born with a six pack. That kind of guy. Yeah, no, it's crazy. He's not Mexican. Anyways. All right. Well, I think that's it. We're gonna conclude before Pastor Sandy kicks us off.
Yeah.
Vincent, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Great.
Thanks for spending time with us.
Mrs. Vincent,
If,
thank you.
if you want any of the things that I shared today, feel free.
Yeah,
to message
you
me.
can catch them in the sanctuary at an usher standpoint somewhere tonight, 6 p.m.
God bless y'all.
See you for the next one next month. We'll do another one next month.
Bye.
Yeah, let us know what you guys want to see. If you want to go more into detail about specific topics.
Comment, like, subscribe.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
do all that. Bye.
Peace out.
Are we good?